Welcome back. Well, a lot has happened ever since then. The NJC, the NBA executive, they all seem to have taken different positions ever since. But we're joined this morning by Dr. Tunji Abayomi, who is a legal practitioner, to weigh in on this matter. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Well, there are, we see different comments this morning. They'll be meeting on Thursday so that they can harmonize their positions. But initially, the NBA gave that position. But yesterday, there were reports that the NJC had recanted and that they were going to do something about those judges. But some lawyers have disagreed with the NBA's new position that the judges in question should step aside. They think, you know, that would be tantamount to you prejudging them if they were to step aside. What do you think of that?
Well, the nature of their job is such that they can be prejudged. Now, it is true that we are presumed innocent, but the mere fact that they leave the job ad interim, in the interim, does not erode the presumption of innocence. We must understand the issue. In our profession, even as a lawyer is expected to stay away not just from impropriety, but an appearance of impropriety. He must stay away from impropriety, not just an appearance of it. Now, in the case of a judge, it's even stricter. Now, the nature of a judge is such a fundamental aspect to the development of justice in this state, such that if there is even an allegation at all, if there is substantial issue, I will say prima facie.
Okay.
I will say that the judge should immediately, voluntarily, they should do that.
So
that's my view.
In this case,
yes,
can you say that is a prima facie case?
The investigation, is there anybody in Nigeria who does not know that the Nigerian judiciary is manifestly corrupt?
Yeah, but
I have been speaking about it, I'm sure I've said it in this particular station. No, I can give you so many instances.
That's on a broader scale.
Yes.
And I think a lot of lawyers, many Nigerians agree that corruption, I mean, we need to root it out at all levels, including the judiciary. But then I've heard lawyers also say, but they have on due process. And when they look at this specific case, they say, in the first instance, the DSS doesn't seem to have helped them because they haven't seen any of those items which the DSS say that they've seen. Because they held a press conference, they spoke about what they found, but they never showed the public.
Is it the responsibility of DSS to show what they found?
But the judges have responded saying, look, these things were planted in my house.
That's very funny. What's planted in their houses? Do you really believe it? That's the story for the that's nonsensical with due respect. Let me say something to you. First of all, we must have regard for our institutions in this country. Secondly, before a DSS would take such an extraordinary action, we must simply accept that it must be based on some credible evidence. That's the second point. The third point is that there are lots of people who are talking about arresting the judges. Let us understand this is a state security issue. The corruption of a judge I think one time I was here, I was telling you that Metama Sule, when he visited Professor Nwabueze, one point he raised was that when the judiciary of a nation is corrupt, the nation is imperiled.
In fact, I was almost going to remind you of that because I'm so excited you're here. You've written books, apart from being a legal luminary, you've written books on issues like this. And, you know, a couple of times we've talked about corruption and fighting corruption here. You've been our guest and we've tried to look at it from all angles. And one of those, the areas a lot of Nigerians have not really looked into keenly is that of the judiciary. Now that we're there, perhaps tell us, away from your own believability of what is happening now, in practice, have you had an inkling that something was really, really foul about some activities of some judges.
Fundamentally foul. I'll give you 3 instances. A while ago, a lawyer in the Supreme Court was accusing the Chief Justice of Nigeria in that court of corruption. And he insisted he had evidence. In the court, you can imagine the boldness, the cogency of the evidence. That's number 1. I gave you other instances that my own example. I was handling a case in one of the courts of the Federation. We won the case. Another judge handled the case and we won. We now applied for execution. Judge B directed execution. The court bailiff executed according to the directive of the judge. Order of the judgment debtor broke the chain. In other words, execution, it was chained. By the order of court, the judgment debtor broke the chain. That is the judgment that was executed by the order of court. The judgment debtor now went to court and now applied for stay of execution of a judge after execution. And it was fascinating. And I told you, what's this? Of course, the judge couldn't look up. Was doing this, reading an order staying the judgment the court had executed. It's so bizarre and strange. But let me tell you what we found out later. The son of the judgment creditor, that's my client, now happened to be a friend. One day, the registrar of that court saw this boy and said, "Who are you?" And the boy now said, "Oh, I am the son of, Madam B." He said, "Oh, you are the son. That is my client." Mm. And then the judge, so the son of that registrar, the son of my client became friend. And the registrar said, "Oh my gosh, is that what, you are the son of this person?" And now told my client what happened. The judgment debtor brought 300,000 to the judge. And the judge now came to the registrar and said, "Oh, well, this money, shall I accept this money?" And the registrar said, the woman wanted to accept the money, and he was now asking us, formality. I said, well, if you want to accept it, accept it. After all, they are going to the Court of Appeal. That is it. You can see the tragedy of the country. This is a judgment that was given, validly given, executed, and by the order of court, the judgment debtor broke all the chain. And then now took money to the judge, and the judge, in spite of the fact that the judge is aware that the order of the court is disregarded with impunity, the court still granted an order based on money. That's number 1.
Based on money.
Money was brought.
And it was proven.
Of course, I'm telling you, the registrar of that judge told, because the son of my client and the son of the registrar became, that's how we knew. It was so bizarre. How do you stay a judgment order to be executed by your own court? It is another judge, not that same judge, but the same court. So it was so strange, but naturally you begin to wonder, what the heck is going on? It is when we got this explanation, it became clear that that kind of abnormal action order could possibly be given by any court. Now you now go to issue of influence. I have a case, I was handling a case on behalf of my client. My client was accused. And we were defending. My client said, "I shouldn't worry now, you will handle the matter." What did the client do? The client bought jeeps for the judge. Of course, he rendered me useless. Why am I wasting my time? He's going to handle the case.
And the judge accepted it.
Of course, the level of corruption in the judiciary is a culture. I give you the third instance. In this case, this judge refused A gift was given to him by a lawyer, some material gift and money. And the judge called the lawyer and said, no, I can't accept money by the code of the ethics of my profession. This justice now told his chief judge, it was in foreign currency, in dollars, and the chief judge said, if you don't want the money, please send it to me. I want it. The level of corruption, I give another instance. In a state, the chief judge sits in the meeting of the political party, and his name will be recorded. You can't make any appointment in that state without the approval in his own area, without the approval of the chief judge. The chief judge is what do you call it? Best man, or best man of the executive of the governor.
These are interesting cases, but we'll take a moment. We'll come back and zero in a lot more on these cases.
I will give you another instance involving the highest court in the land.
Join us again.